Deep within the whispering heart of the ancient Emberwood forest, far from bustling villages and curious eyes, lived a small dragon named Ember. Unlike the fierce, mountain-dwelling dragons of legend, Ember was scarcely larger than a shepherd dog, with scales the color of twilight smoke and wide, intelligent eyes that held a deep, unspoken loneliness. His most unusual trait was the gentle warmth that radiated from him, not the terrifying inferno of his kin, but a comforting glow like banked coals on a wintry Euro-esque night. This warmth, however, often flickered too brightly when he felt nervous or sad, sending tiny, unintended sparks dancing into the air. It was this very warmth, meant to comfort, that had first scared away the forest creatures he so desperately longed to befriend, convincing him he was too strange, too different, to ever be loved. For years, Ember watched the distant village nestled in the valley below. He saw children laughing as they chased butterflies through meadows, families sharing meals under starlit skies, and friends walking hand in hand along dusty paths. A profound ache settled deep within his small chest, a yearning so sharp it made his inner fire sputter and flare with melancholy. He dreamed not of hoarded gold or fearsome conquests, but of simple things: sharing a story, receiving a kind smile, feeling the gentle touch of a hand on his scaled head. He practiced making his fire glow softly, like a lantern, imagining it lighting a room where friends gathered. Not fleeing in terror, he rehearsed gentle greetings in the quiet of his cave, his voice a low rumble he tried to soften into something welcoming. One crisp autumn evening, driven by a courage born of sheer desperation, Ember crept closer to the village than ever before. He hid behind a large, moss-covered rock near the edge of a golden wheat field, watching a group of children play tag. His heart hammered against his ribs like a trapped bird. Taking a deep, shaky breath, he stepped hesitantly into the open, offering what he hoped was a friendly little wave of his clawed hand. Hello?" he rumbled softly, his voice trembling for a single breathless moment. The children stopped, their eyes wide with astonishment. Then, one child screamed, "Dragon! Monster!" Panic erupted instantly. The joyful shrieks turned to terrified cries as the children scattered like leaves in a gale, tripping over each other in their haste to flee. Ember stood frozen, the hopeful light in his eyes extinguished, replaced by a well of tears that sizzled as they met his hot scales. His carefully nurtured dream shattered, completely devastated. Ember fled back into the deep forest, the joyful sounds of the village replaced by the mocking rustle of dead leaves underfoot. He found a secluded clearing carpeted with soft moss and curled into a tight, miserable ball. Great, shuddering sobs racked his small body, each one sending plumes of warm, sorrowful smoke curling into the cool evening air. He buried his snout beneath his tail, wishing the forest floor would swallow him whole. "Why?" he whispered hoarsely to the silent trees. "I only wanted to be loved. Is my warmth only for burning? Is my shape only for scaring?" He felt utterly alone, more isolated than ever before in his hidden life. The comforting glow within him dimmed almost to darkness. Unbeknownst to Ember, his flight in his sorrowful smoke had been seen. A small boy named Liam, known for his quiet observation and gentle spirit, had lingered near the field's edge after the other children ran. He hadn't seen a monster. He had seen the dragon's tentative wave, the hopeful look swiftly crushed by terror, and now, the plume of smoke rising like a sad signal from the wood's curiosity. And a strange tug of empathy overcame his initial fear. While the village elders spoke urgently of posting guards, Liam slipped away, following the trail of crushed ferns and the faint, warm scent of wood smoke and sadness deeper into the Emberwood than he had ever ventured. Liam moved cautiously, his small footsteps barely making a sound on the thick carpet of pine needles. He pushed aside low-hanging branches until he found the clearing. There lay Ember, still curled tight, small whimpers escaping him, tiny embers glowing dully in the gloom. Liam's breath caught the dragon. Looked so small, so utterly heartbroken, not terrifying at all. Taking a deep, steadying breath, Liam stepped softly into the clearing. "Hello?" he called out, his voice gentle but clear. Ember's head snapped up, his eyes wide with fresh fear and disbelief. He scrambled back, a warning rumble building in his throat. Sparks flickering nervously. Please, Liam said softly, holding his empty hands palms up. A universal gesture of peace. I won't hurt you. I saw you were sad. Ember stared at the boy, trembling. No one had ever come looking for him before. No one had ever spoken softly to him. The boy's eyes held no malice, only concern and a quiet kind of courage. Slowly, hesitantly, Ember uncurled a little. They ran, he rumbled, the words thick with unshed tears. Always run, always fear. Liam nodded slowly, taking another small step closer. They don't understand, he said simply. They only saw a dragon, but I saw you. He sat down on the moss a few respectful feet away. My name is Liam. What's yours? The question, so ordinary, so profoundly kind, struck Ember deeply. Ember, he whispered, the sound filled with wonder. Someone knew his name. A fragile silence settled, filled only by the forest's night sounds. Liam shivered slightly as the evening chill deepened. Seeing this, Ember concentrated with all his might. Carefully, deliberately, he let the inner warmth that usually blazed uncontrolled flow outwards in a gentle, steady wave of comforting heat. Like a living hearthstone, the air around them grew deliciously warm, banishing the chill without a single dangerous spark. Liam sighed with pleasure. Oh, that's wonderful, Ember encouraged. Ember noticed a bright red apple Liam had dropped earlier. Focusing intently, he let a tiny, controlled stream of warmth wash over it. Within moments, the apple was perfectly steamed, its skin gleaming, filling the clearing with a sweet, inviting fragrance. He nudged it gently towards Liam with his snout. Liam picked it up. Warm and fragrant, he took a bite, his face lighting up. It's perfect. Thank you, Ember. Word of Liam's friendship with the warmth dragon slowly spread through the village, carried not by shouts of fear, but by Liam's earnest words and the undeniable sweetness of a perfectly steamed apple shared with his parents' curiosity. Carefully nurtured by Liam's tales of Ember's gentle nature, began to replace fear. One by one, braver souls, often accompanied by Liam, ventured to the edge of the Emberwood. They found not a monster, but a small, shy dragon who could warm cold hands on frosty mornings, steam chestnuts for children, and make the village bonfire glow with perfect, safe warmth during harvest celebrations. Ember learned to control his fire not just physically, but emotionally, finding his unique gift was meant for sharing warmth, not causing fear. The profound loneliness that had once been a constant, cold stone in Ember's chest melted away, replaced by a glow far warmer and steadier than any fire he could ever produce. It was the warmth of belonging. He learned the villagers' names, their smiles, the sound of their laughter mingling with his own contented rumbles. He discovered the joy of helping, of sharing his unique gift, and the incredible comfort of simply being accepted for who he was. Nestled in his clearing at night, listening to the friendly sounds drifting up from the valley, Ember finally understood love wasn't about being fearsome or grand. It was about connection, kindness, and the courage to offer your true self, even a small, warm self. That steamed apples. He was Ember, the little dragon, and he was deeply, wonderfully loved.